Over time, our homes can quietly fill up with things that not only take up space but also drain our energy. That old armchair that no one ever sits in, the wardrobe packed with clothes you never wear, the drawer stuffed with papers you haven't touched in several years. This clutter makes your home feel heavier, harder to clean, and more difficult to enjoy. In this video, we will reveal 6 types of belongings that are silently holding you back. And letting go of them can help you create a simpler, happier life before you turn 70. Now, let's get started. One of the biggest culprits of clutter in the home is old, worn-out furniture that no longer serves you. And this clutter can make daily life more difficult. Moving around bulky tables, extra chairs, or unused cabinets increases the risk of bumping into furniture, tripping, or simply feeling overwhelmed. Your home is not only an inconvenience, but also a potential health hazard. Take Frank, for example. Frank is 74 years old and has lived in the same house for several decades. Over the years, his home has filled up with furniture. Some pieces he inherited, some he purchased, and others were simply gifts from friends. At one point, his home felt cozy, but as time passed, he started to notice. Cleaning took longer. Moving around the house became harder. Some rooms felt more like storage units than spaces for relaxation. It wasn't until one day when his daughter visited and pointed out that he had 5 chairs in the living room, but only 2 were actually used, that Frank realized it was time for a change. He started with one room, deciding to get rid of items that no longer served a real purpose. The broken chair with wobbly legs? Gone. The oversized coffee table that made it difficult to walk around the room? Out the door. The cabinet he kept fumbling to open? Gone, too. Little by little, Frank let go of things and something surprising happened. His home felt more open, more inviting, and most importantly, more livable. That's the thing about furniture. When it's useful, it improves your life. But when it's just taking up space, it silently drains your energy. You don't need a house packed with furniture to feel at home. In fact, the less furniture you have, the more you cherish what really matters. That cozy armchair where you actually relax, the dining table where your loved ones gather, and the pieces that bring you comfort, not clutter. So, take a walk around your home and ask yourself, when was the last time I used this? If you have to think about it, chances are it's time to let it go. A home that's easier to move around in, easier to clean, and genuinely enjoyable to live in is far more valuable than any unused chair or table. Comment number 1 if you're confident you've cleared out all your unused furniture, or comment number 0 if you think it's time for a change. Next, we're going to talk about the impact of an object you never thought of, but is holding your life back. Stay tuned. If you're holding on to clothes that no longer fit, aren't comfortable, or no longer suit your lifestyle, they're not just cluttering your closet, they're also adding to your stress. Take Linda as an example. At the age of 72, she had a closet packed full of clothes, yet she only wore a small selection regularly. She had dresses from the 1980s, jackets she hadn't touched in decades, and shoes that looked fantastic, but hurt her feet every time she wore them. Every morning, she'd stand in front of her closet feeling frustrated by too many options, most of which were no longer practical. Then, one day, Linda decided enough was enough. She took everything out of her closet and sorted it into 3 piles. One for clothes she loved and actually wore, another for clothes that no longer fit or felt comfortable, and a 3rd pile for items she kept just in case. That 3rd pile was the hardest. But as she let go of clothes that no longer suited her, she realized she wasn't losing anything. She was gaining space, clarity, and a wardrobe that truly made her life easier. That's the power of decluttering your closet. When you clear out clothes you no longer wear, you simplify your routine. No more digging through old, outdated outfits. Instead, you'll have a wardrobe filled with pieces that fit well, feel comfortable, and make you happy whenever you wear them. And the best part? Someone else might be able to use those clothes. Instead of letting them gather dust in your closet, why not donate them to someone who needs them? So, if your closet is overflowing with clothes you never wear, ask yourself these 3 questions. Do I actually wear this? Does it fit and feel comfortable? Am I only keeping this just in case? If the answer is no to any of those questions, it's time to let it go. And don't worry, by letting go, you're not losing memories. You're creating space for a wardrobe that's comfortable, easy to wear, and fits your current life. If you're still watching this video and found these insights helpful, please comment number 2 below to let me know you're here. Up next, I'll be talking about another type of clutter that could be silently harming your health, and it's sitting in your bathroom right now. I'll explain more shortly. Did you know that expired medications and old personal care products are not only useless, but can also be dangerous? A bottle of pain relievers from several years ago, a half-used prescription you never finished. Over time, their effectiveness weakens, and in some cases, they can become harmful to your health. According to the United States Food and Drug Administration, expired medications can undergo chemical changes that reduce their potency or even cause unwanted side effects. And it's not just medications. Old personal care products, such as that forgotten bottle of lotion, sunscreen from several years ago, or that perfume you stopped using a decade ago, can also lead to skin irritation, infections, or even allergic reactions. Yet, many of us still hang on to these items, convincing ourselves that we'll use them someday. But let's be honest. If you haven't touched them in several months, or even years, chances are you never will. Take Robert, for example. He's 75 years old, and he's always taken pride in keeping his home tidy and organized. But one day, while searching the bathroom cabinet for first aid kits, Robert discovered a stash of old medications and forgotten toiletries hidden behind the shelves. Painkillers that had expired 5 years earlier, half-used antibiotic creams, prescription drugs for ailments he no longer had. As Robert began to sort through everything, he couldn't believe how much he had kept just in case. He decided to throw away everything that was no longer valuable, and he was relieved to learn that everything that remained in the closet was actually safe, effective, and useful. That's something many people overlook. Organizing your medications and personal care products isn't just about tidying up. It's about protecting your health. By discarding expired medications, you reduce the risk of taking something ineffective or even harmful. By tossing out old personal care items, you're protecting your skin from irritation and ensuring that everything you're using is fresh and effective. And the best part? You'll no longer have to dig through half-used bottles or guess which medications are still safe. Everything you need will be right there, clear, organized, and reliable. So here's what you can do today. Go to your bathroom cabinet, drawer, or wherever you keep your medications and personal care products and take a close look. Check the expiration dates. If it's expired, throw it out. If it's a prescription you no longer need, dispose of it properly. Many pharmacies or community programs offer safe disposal options. When it comes to personal care products, ask yourself, when was the last time I used this? If it's been over 1 year, it's probably time to toss it out. Cleaning your bathroom isn't just about reclaiming space, it's about creating a safer, calmer, and easier to manage home. Next up is one of the most common yet overlooked culprits. But before we get into that, I have a quick 10-second request for everyone listening. If you can help me in any way, please tap the notification bell and hit the subscribe button. It means the world to me. It supports this channel tremendously. And if you do that for me, I promise my team and I will do everything we can to make this show even better for you. Do we have a deal? One of the most common types of clutter, yet also one of the easiest to overlook, his paperwork. Frustrating, isn't it? You start digging through your drawers, hoping to find what you need, but instead, you find yourself buried in what seems like an endless pile of papers. Receipts from 10 years ago, instruction manuals for devices you no longer own, and bank statements that should have been shredded long ago. The clutter from paperwork isn't just annoying, it can quietly create stress in your life. For older adults, this mental strain can be even more serious, especially when managing medications, doctor's appointments, and financial records all at once. Take Barbara, for example. At 73 years old, she had an entire filing cabinet filled with documents dating back decades. Old utility bills, long forgotten receipts, and even tax returns from the 1980s. One day, while struggling to find an important insurance document, she realized that much of her paperwork no longer mattered. It was just clutter. Determined to take control, Barbara decided to go through everything and keep only the documents that were truly important. When she finished, she had reduced her paperwork by more than half. For the first time in years, Barbara knew exactly where to find what she needed. And more importantly, she felt calm and in control. The truth is, when you declutter your paperwork, you're not just creating space in your home, you're creating space in your mind. You're freeing yourself from the overwhelming feeling of being buried under piles of old documents that you'll never need again. And the best part? Thanks to modern technology, you no longer need to keep physical copies of everything. According to the Federal Trade Commission, important documents like bank statements, utility bills, and tax records are often accessible digitally, making it easier than ever to reduce paperwork clutter. So, here's your challenge for today. Take a close look at your paperwork and ask yourself, when was the last time I actually needed this? If you can't remember, it's probably time to let it go. Start by shredding old bank statements and expired contracts. Recycle instruction manuals for devices you no longer own. Keep only the necessary legal, financial, and medical documents and organize them so they're easy to find when you need them. The goal is simple. Keep only the paperwork that truly serves a purpose and get rid of the rest. But paperwork clutter isn't the only thing that can make your home feel chaotic. One of the biggest sources of stress may be hiding in your kitchen, and it's time to tackle it. If your kitchen cabinets are packed with mismatched containers, your drawers are overflowing with tools you never use, and your countertops are cluttered with old, dusty appliances, you're not alone. Many of us hold on to kitchen items out of habit. Perhaps it's that fancy dinnerware set you've been saving for a special occasion that never seems to come. Or maybe it's the bread maker you bought several years ago and used only once. But the truth is, a kitchen filled with unused or unnecessary items makes life harder. And for older adults, a cluttered kitchen can create unnecessary stress, increase cleaning time, and even make meal preparation more challenging. Take George, for example. George is 76 years old and has lived in the same house for decades. Over the years, his kitchen had become packed with cooking tools and gadgets he didn't really need. There were multiple blenders, food processors, and toasters that hadn't been touched in years. Plates and glasses were stacked high in the cabinets, and drawers were stuffed with mismatched spoons, can openers, and plastic lids. Every time he needed a pan or a kitchen tool, he had to rummage through the chaos just to find it. One day, while searching for a frying pan, George accidentally knocked over a pile of unused baking trays. That's when he realized enough was enough. He started small, focusing on one cabinet at a time. For each item he touched, he asked himself one simple question. Do I actually use this? Duplicate items? Gone? Expired spices and pantry goods? Tossed out? 3 extra serving spoons he didn't need? Donated. By the time George finished, his kitchen felt like an entirely different space. The countertops were clear, the cabinets were organized, and finding what he needed became easy again. When you get rid of the kitchen items you never use, you create a space that works for you. Cooking becomes simpler. Cleaning takes less time. And suddenly, your kitchen becomes a place you want to be, not a space you dread. Now, step into your kitchen, open your cabinets, check your drawers, and ask yourself, when was the last time I used this? If it's been years, if it's covered in dust, or if you're keeping it just in case it's time to let it go. Donate what's still useful. Toss out anything expired or broken, and enjoy the peace of mind that comes with a tidy, functional, and easy-to-manage kitchen. Comment number 6 below if you are determined to keep only practical things for your kitchen. And stay tuned because the best advice is still ahead. One of the hardest things to clean up is sentimental items. Old letters, souvenirs, gifts from loved ones, or boxes filled with keepsakes from several decades ago. Although these items may seem harmless, having too many emotionally significant objects can quietly turn into a mess that weighs heavily on your emotions. Instead of feeling comforted by these mementos, you may find yourself feeling overwhelmed. Shelves packed with decorative items, storage spaces full of forgotten boxes, and closets crammed with things you rarely look at. And when your home is filled with the belongings of the past, it becomes harder to focus on the present. Take Helen, for example. She was 78 years old and had kept boxes of old letters, souvenirs from past vacations, greeting cards, and keepsakes from her children's early years. When she moved to a smaller home, she realized she had an entire storage unit full of things she hadn't seen or touched in several years. At first, the idea of throwing anything away seemed impossible. But then, she changed her mindset. Instead of trying to hold on to everything, she decided to focus on what truly mattered. Her wedding photo album, a few letters from loved ones, and a small collection of keepsakes that made her smile whenever she saw them. The items that were still in good condition, she donated them. Things that couldn't be reused, she recycled or threw them away. Special items she wanted to remember but didn't need to keep physically. She took pictures of them. In doing so, she felt lighter and gained mental clarity. That's something many people don't realize. When you let go of the things that no longer serve you, you create space for peace, calm, and new experiences. You make room for the present, for moments with family, for quiet evenings with a good book, and for the freedom to move through your home without carrying the emotional weight of cluttered belongings. And here's a challenge for you. Take a look at the sentimental items you've been holding on to and ask yourself, does this bring me joy, or does it just make me feel burdened? Am I keeping this because I love it, or because I feel guilty letting it go? If you're holding on to something purely out of obligation, it's time to set yourself free. Keep the best and let go of the rest. Treasure the memories that mean the most, and create space for the new ones yet to come. If you found this helpful, leave a comment below with the number 4 to let me know you're here. And if you've faced challenges in letting go of sentimental items, I'd love to hear how you've been working through it. Your story could inspire someone else. At the end of this journey, take some time to reflect. Decluttering before you turn 70 isn't about losing your belongings. It's about gaining peace, clarity, and a home that feels like a true sanctuary. Every item you choose to let go of isn't just stuff. It's a conscious decision to create space for what truly matters. A home that's easier to clean and manage, a calmer, more relaxed mind, and a life less burdened by things that no longer serve you. Think about this. When you walk into a room that isn't cluttered, don't you feel lighter, more at ease, more peaceful? That's exactly what decluttering brings. Not just a tidier home, but a simpler, healthier lifestyle that allows you to focus on what brings you joy, connection, and purpose. In fact, according to research published in the Journal of Environmental Psychology, Living in a clutter-free home is linked to better mental well-being and improved focus. So, where should you start? Start small. Maybe it's that dusty armchair in the corner that no one sits in anymore. Or that kitchen drawer overflowing with mismatched utensils. Or perhaps it's the box of old greeting cards you've been meaning to sort through. Let go of one item today and feel the difference. Now, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Which of these 6 types of clutter weighs you down the most? Is it outdated furniture? The pile of clothes you never wear? Or maybe it's those old papers you've been meaning to organize for years. Drop a comment below and share one thing you plan to let go of today, or tell us how decluttering has brought you peace. Your story can inspire others, and your insights might be exactly what someone needs to hear to take that first step toward a calmer, more organized home. If you found today's video interesting, don't hesitate to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Your support is very important to us. Be sure to check out the next video appearing on your screen. You're sure to love the content we bring. Please leave a comment about which country you'd like us to explore next. Thank you for watching, and see you in the latest video.